Hey everybody, this is Cornbro right here trying to introduce another video providing some insight, reasoning, and perspective insight on the world of digital currency. Um, as you know, if you follow the market very well, you see this relative strength of interest in the number one digital currency, Bitcoin. Um, it was right after I made the commentary to several people that I know about the notion of buying low and selling high. Um, like I noticed something like if you talk to relatively educated people in investing, they always want to buy low and sell high, right? Um, when Bitcoin was like a couple of months ago, everybody was very excited, but a lot of them was not very educated about investing. They bought at very high pricing near the 1800 to 1900 area, which is very high pricing. And they bought it at that pricing area, and then they end up selling very low. So, as you know, a lot of people thought that wow, it's nearing 20,000. That's very high. That's when they sold a lot of it, and that's why the pricing came back down a bit. So the people that are educated with reasoning began to talk to each other again. Hey, this is the pricing around 6,000 area. That's like been low for a long time, and it has been supported very well. So among the people that I talked to began the notion that hey, since the lot the not well educated, which is a lot of them, have exited the investment already, why isn't it like a good time to buy low and then execute at selling high again? And therefore, it started the lot of conversation and interest from around 6,000 area now to the 7,000 area. So as you can see within the 7-day chart, like I mentioned, I began the conversation with the people that I know in first investment community and wide range of educational background, from medical to pure investing, banking to accounting, engineering, software engineering, mobile engineering, even like iPhone repair guys who are very well educated in that area as well. So you see, within the 7 day, they have been, pumping it up and buying it up because we began the notion of that you want to buy low and sell high. So we see it's a relative calm for a while now around the 6,000 area, and we see that most of the people that like not well educated are not in it anymore. So it's a good time, like I mentioned, to start looking into this area as something of buy low and sell high and begin to push again. All right. So even CNBC a little bit, I'm mentioning several articles about the world is experimenting with blockchain. I think it's around here. All right. Bitcoin pushes in this like Bing news article area about Bitcoin. So we see Bitcoin cautiously bullish as the price faces new hurdles. It is hurdles everywhere because it is very volatile, but it's volatile to the upside again. Let's talk CNBC. The world is experimenting with blockchain. So it's very good. If you experiment blockchain, you need to have some idea of interest to deal with it. All right. So even Bitcoin and even big banks like Goldman Sachs. As I heard, like around the area, that people near the Goldman Sachs area, um, they're interested in opening a trading desk, dealing with bitcoins, even like other derivative instruments like the futures and CBOE. Futures is pretty good. So, and also ETLs. So, like I mentioned before, the interest in this area is beginning to pick up as it traded in relative calmness. Not like the other people that try to pump it and they like, when it's high. But now it's like the notion is taking place now where people want to buy low and sell high, and which is very good strategy for the educated traders and investors. All right. So you see, like within like now to the end of the year, there's major momentums gathering, try to push it to higher evaluations for this Bitcoin. Several things many people I mentioned before. There's a corruption, local government corruption around the world that is messing up the local store value instruments like cash, other related instrument based on that local cash are messing up due to local corruption of the government. Recently it was Zimbabwe, where the 90-year-old, a couple months ago, the 90-year-old president fired the successor and caused a lot of many chaos, where the successor had to flee the country. And as you know, a lot of smart guys around the area investing in Bitcoin quickly transferred their store value from everything dealing with the local store value, currency, cash, and anything related to it quickly into the Bitcoin. And it was very historic. For the first time, Bitcoin traded above $13,000 a unit in that locality, while the other locality was trying to catch up in the far end. Eventually, they're still evolving is Venezuela. If you follow the news of the Venezuela, the local corruptions, like messing up the local currency even further, devaluing the local currency by 95% again. So as you know, there was 2 interviews for these people in Venezuela. One interview was interviewing a guy who's complaining that who didn't know about Bitcoin or digital currency and said, I have lost over 20 pounds since the corruption began. And then there was a second interview, interviewing some young father of a young family, said that when the corruption began, I immediately transfer all my local assets and local value stores into digital currencies like Bitcoin. And the final thing he says that I'm still able to feed my young daughter using digital currencies to buy food over the internet. Now, when he says something like that, a lot of smart guys around the area say something like that, dealing with computer knowledge, value store and financial knowledge. Even if you have that knowledge and capability, you ask yourself, you're in kind of the same situation. Are you fast enough to transfer your values? And are you smart enough to overcome all these different arguments and doubts? And has done very well for these people. Still, even though there's volatile pricing and stuff, they're able to still buy and gain a lot of value and buy a lot of food over the internet for their family. So there's other local corruption that's evolving again. Southeast Asia, conflicts, disputes in Middle East, things like that. That's also evolving, and the United States presidency having a lot of quick and sometimes changing its mind on many new disputes over trade and stuff like that. So with all these considerations that's evolving, it goes very well for digital currency, because if somebody messes up locally in corruption, messing up their store value, Bitcoin has become a legitimate hedge against local corruption. The first time it did this was with the PIIGS, PIIGS, the acronym, the abbreviations for the European debt crisis, where Portugal had problems a couple years ago, and a lot of the local people were afraid for their store value, the value in the store value in local currencies and so forth like that. And that's when they first hit on Bitcoin to transfer the value, and it's done still very well for those people who did it. and bought this method of protecting the store value, and it's still working today. And it will eventually evolve even further in many different ways. It's a legitimate hedge. All right, so as you can see in this video, I have mentioned the current reasoning of the upcoming participation in buying into digital currencies. I wish you all good investing and happy trading and happy summering while we need the end of this 2018 summer season. All right. Have a nice day and have a nice summer. Thank you very much for listening.